Hey everyone. Okay, so there's not a ton to cover with this chapter as it essentially just brings the fight with the part to a close, which admittedly I did feel a bit of whiplash at how fast the fight concluded, but given outside interference from Takamura, it makes sense the fight wouldn't last that much longer, which, yeah, let's talk about Takamura here, because I think it's fair to assume he didn't just help Taro out of the kindness of his heart. But the question then becomes why help Taro at all? Like Takamura, and even more so, like the thing about this whole situation with Takamura showing up is Takamura could have just as easily ended the fight then and there, but instead chose to aid Taro, and in a way that leaves a veil of suspicion over his actions. Like the point where it almost feels like he definitely wants Taro to come seek him out after this, and likely because I think Takamura does have information useful to Taro in regards to X and just what's going on with this whole situation with the bounty on Taro's head. Like, whatever, 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 whatever game Takamura's playing at, he definitely knows more than he's letting on. And I think he intentionally wants to speak to Taro pretty much. Which, yeah, that also kind of leads to the next point I have, which is that if Suzuki is setting Takamura up as a possible source of information for Taro to search out, then I honestly think more than ever that X isn't far behind for making an appearance next chapter or chapter 51, and that Apart himself is likely to get killed by X. Like, Apart, like the others, is not long for this world, except in this case, it's likely to be X in order to do the deed himself, which, yeah, if that does happen, Apart's death will definitely be, I think, one of the more tragic deaths out of the four, simply for the fact that it feels like Apart never, from what we've seen of his backstory, Apart never got to live his life. It's one defined by stunted growth and abuse. He's never known what happiness looks like, and he's always just lived a life in kind of the darkness of in the darkness of disillusionment and just kind of and just being that outsider looking in. He's never known what companionship of any level looks like, and if he is destined to die next chapter, then that's really I think only going to add to the tragedy of his character of basically a never lived. Although on a lighter note, though, it was kind of hilarious yet epic to see Taro just whipping around, kicking Apart's ass throughout the chapter. Partly because he was doing this all in his you could say just his normal form, his normal self, and just the idea of seeing a tubby man move at amazing speeds and perform these incredible feats again is something so hilarious yet epic only anime and manga could pull off. Like, it's just that beautiful mix of it's just that beautiful mix of epic, but also like, yeah, this is some weird anime manga logic shit going on here. And again, I can't lie, I did really love it. Like seeing, I'm not gonna lie, seeing this chapter, and especially just seeing this whole fight play out, and especially what the old granny did to Taro. Yeah, you can definitely tell it worked its magic. Like Taro, I think so. One thing that's curious to me about this now is though, like, is this just completely does this just completely wipe out the idea of him needing to burn fat, and we're never gonna see that slimmed down form again, or is it gonna be one of those things where we're still gonna see it, but it's probably gonna be used less than it's probably gonna be used less than it was. I'm assuming it's the latter. Like we're still gonna see that form again, but we're probably gonna see it used less, and not with basically the idea now that Taro has kind of awakened a hidden potential within him where he doesn't need to fully rely on it as much anymore. Um, now, now, with that said, I guess if I did have genuine criticism with this chapter and just this whole back half of this arc, is that I'm as this arc slowly comes to a close, I'm starting to question more why Heisuke needed to be here. Like, I get the initial purpose of him needing to serve needing to be in part of this fight to serve as a distraction. But after that, yeah, it feels like he had no purpose for being part of this fight anymore, and all the only reason he was there was just kind of to be on the sidelines trying to survive. So yes, again, this is as someone who considers himself a fan of Heisuke, it does feel like Heisuke got a little bit used and abused during the back half of this, during during the second half of this fight. And truthfully, the more I think honestly, Heisuke's sniping skills could have been showcased a lot more in this fight because, yeah, again, it felt like it's one of those things where it's the more I'm thinking about it, it feels like Heisuke's lack of involvement in this fight did feel like a wasted opportunity on Suzuki's part. Like, in a way, I do get get it from the perspective of wanting to make the fight more of a personal affair, but still, it felt a little wasted just seeing him like having to just view everything from the sidelines, not really doing much. Like, I get the idea, get the whole purpose, but yeah, I feel Heisuke could have had a little more involvement here with this fight. But that's all I got for this review, guys. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Blue Sky, and on Crunchyroll. Be sure to click the subscribe button, and just share it around, guys. Dark Knight Moonway signing off. Later, everyone.